Hi everyone, welcome back to another flipped lesson. Last day we looked at scatter plots. We looked at how we can use a scatter plot or from a set of ordered pairs to find relationships and find trends or patterns in information. Today with lesson 1.10, we're going to look at the line of best fit. And we're going to look at how the line of best fit works together with a scatter plot. First of all, let's fill in our blanks. A line of best fit is a line that, I may need more room here, approximates or guesses a trend for data on a scatter plot. So a line of best fit is a line that approximates or guesses a trend for data on a scatter plot. The line of best fit can help you to make predictions, because it shows a pattern or trend. A line of best fit passes through as many points, I'm going to go over here, as possible. So of all the little plots on our scatter point, we're going to try to touch it with this straight line. We're going to try to touch as many of those points as possible, while the rest of the lines should be equally above or below the line. There's a couple of key words that I want to look at next. And the first one is interpolating. So interpolating is making a guess that it falls within interpolating is making a guess that falls within the line of the recorded data, one that falls on the line. Extrapolating is making a guess or a prediction that it falls outside of the recorded data. To extrapolate, you may need to extend the line to properly extrapolate. Those are our blanks. We're going to do our example together. If you need to pause this, pause it now so you can fill in the blanks, or if you want to go back over some things, you can rewind it and catch things that you missed. I'm going to move on to the example. Our example is this. At Wonderland, they conducted a simple experiment to determine if a change in temperature outside had an effect on the number of people who rode the lazy river. An employee gathered the following results. We've got the temperature here on this side, and we've got the number of people who rode the lazy river on this side. So we want to first of all title our graph. So let's call it Lazy River Riders. I'm going to put temperature on the bottom, and it's going to be in Celsius. I'm going to put number of riders on this side. And now I want to select my scale. For number of riders, I can simply go 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000 at the top. My temperature scale is going to be quite as neat. I have to go up by 4s, I think, to make everything fit. So I'm going to go 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. I now want to plot all my points. So if a temperature is 15 degrees, I'm going to have approximately 308 riders. I'm going to try to do as best I can here and say that one's going to be right about there. If it's 16 degrees, it says here I'm going to have 380 riders, which would be closer to here. If it's 15 degrees on another day, we had 380 riders, so that was right about there. If it's 22 degrees, we had 450 riders, and that's right there. If it's 28 degrees, we had 680 riders, so we're way up here, over this way a little bit. If it's 25 degrees, we had 450 riders, so I'm right about here. When it was 34 degrees, it was a hot one, we had 905 riders, so we're down here somewhere. And it was 33 degrees, we had 875 riders, so we're about here. And the last day was chilly, we had 10 degrees and we only had 100 riders. So I'm gonna go with 10 right here and 100. So what I'm looking at here is my points. And we can kind of see a trend. We can kind of see that it's going in a direction. But what I want to do is try to create a line that it's going to go through as many points as possible and then equally divide or equally have some on the top and the bottom. And that spot where I have this one isn't bad. I wonder if I can move that at all. A little bit. So I've got it kind of going through most of my points, but I've got an equal number on the above the line with these ones and these ones above the line, and I've got 3 or 4 underneath the line. So there is my scatter plot with my line of best fit. Let me get rid of those little red marks for a second. One more red mark to get rid of. Well, now that we have this line, we can start to ask ourselves some questions and we can start to analyze the data. Let me see if I can move this down. Let me see if I can move this page down. One sec. So my questions that I have, so we created the scatter plot, we drew the line of best fit, but now question 3 says, we want to use this line of best fit to estimate how many people ride the lazy river when it's 25 degrees out. Well, we actually have that one, and we can look at it and we say, well, according to this line, while a day where it was 25 degrees, we had 450 people, but this line of best fit tells us that 25 should be right about here. So we should really have about 580 people riding it when it's 25 degrees out. Let's look at a mark that's not on here. Let's look at 32 degrees. If it's 32 degrees, according to my line of best fit, I should have 800 people riding it. That's interpolating. We are taking and trying to draw a conclusion from anything that is inside of our graph. So inside of our days. If we wanted to extrapolate outside of our data goes as high as 34. The hottest day that we had was 34 degrees. But we can even go beyond our data. We can go up to the 40, and we could say, well, if I were to extend this graph or extend this line way up here, I could probably figure it out. I could probably go up here and find out what it is and find out that if it's 40 degrees, I'm going to have a little over 1,000 people riding this ride. If it's 5 degrees, now 5 degrees is not on here, so I'm going to try to figure out what it's going to be for 5. I would extend this line a little bit, find out when it's 5 degrees, and I'm going to find out that I'm not going to have too many people riding it when it's 5 degrees. By the looks of this, I'm going to have maybe about 20. So I'm going to have about 20 people riding it when it's 5 degrees. Now, if I work at Wonderland, I can use all this information to determine, should I open this ride if it's less than 10 degrees? Well, if it's less than 10 degrees, according to this line of best fit, the most people have riding it is about 100. So perhaps it's not worth our while. We'll look more at lines of best fit and scatter plots as we do some more examples. Again, if you need to kind of review some of the terms that we did, feel free to rewind this video, get back to it, and check it out. I'll see you in class.